One of Australia's lesser-known long-distance trails, the 426-kilometre Hume and Hovell Track, stretches across southeastern New South Wales, starting in Yass and ending in Albury. The trail follows the historic route of the 1824 scouting expedition of Hamilton Hume and William Hovell. We are attempting to hike the trail in 24 days, with only 2 resupply stops, at Tumut and at Tumut. We arrive at the Yass Junction train station at about 9 a.m. and we set off shortly after. We carry 8 days of supplies, so the pace is slow to start with, but the spirits are high as we walk along the aptly named Hume Highway until the Black Range Road turnoff, which eventually turns into a dirt road. It's here that we first noticed the Hume and Hovell trail markers that will guide us along the way for the rest of the trip. We stopped for lunch at what was supposed to be our first campsite, although it does not have any facilities, and most importantly no easy access to water. So after some rest and stretching, we decide to push on.
In the middle of the road.
After a further few hours, we reach the Captain campsite. This one offers plenty of flat ground with lush green grass and plenty of trees providing shade. It also has an undercover table, water tank and a pit toilet. Brilliant. Our first day was long, but not too difficult, with lots of uphills, but at a comfortable gradient. We wake up at 7, but after a long day we are slow getting ready. We leave camp around 8:30 and follow the same road as yesterday. Eventually the dirt road turns into a trail. It finally feels like we're bushwalking. The path goes up and down with a few moderate climbs, and we soon get our first glimpse of Lake Burrinjuck. We descend steeply, then round the lake for about 5 kilometers, with the path undulating up and down. The final couple of kilometers go by really slowly, and we start to feel really tired. Fortunately, the Burrinjuck Waters Caravan Park is not too far away. At our camping spot, we immediately get accosted by cockatoos, king parrots and the red and blue parrots. Cute, until they start pecking at our tent, that is. Soon after, a mob of curious kangaroos come by as well. All the animals are super used to getting food from people and are not scared at all and swarm our table and tent. We are up early and head down to the lake to catch a morning boat. The boat ride is short and exciting, but we do notice dark rainy clouds directly in front of us. Sure enough, it starts raining immediately after we get off the boat. The rain will continue for most of the day. Follow a mixture of dirt and paved roads, walking past pastures of sheep and cows and rolling hills on both sides. We stop for lunch at Kerry's Reserve campsite, which basically is a field with grass and fallen trees and lots of cow patties. The path continues on the roadside for another 5 kilometers. We go past Wee Jasper and then we get to the Fitzpatrick campsite. The weather has not improved. In fact, we could hear a thunderstorm rolling in. It's going to be a wet and windy night. The rain persists on and off throughout the night, but when we get up at around 6 a.m, we are greeted by some blue skies and sun. Our day starts with a long 9-kilometer climb. We gain over 920 meters in altitude. The path is steep and winding, but the weather is perfect for hiking.
That's one Wee Jasper.
We get to the top of Mount Wee Jasper at around midday. It's a tiring, sustained, slow ascent. Our legs are certainly letting us know that they're not impressed. After a short break, we descend rather quickly, losing about 450 meters in just a few kilometers. It's funny how on the way up you wish for a downhill section, but during a steep descent you reconsider your earlier wishes. Going down can be painful on joints and the muscles too.
And respectful when passing the two poops.
We reach a dirt road and follow it for a little while before turning off into the woods again. The path draws parallel to a brook, which eventually we cross over a little footbridge. We finally arrive at the log bridge campsite. To our surprise, we find a shelter with sleeping platforms, so we all decide to sleep there instead of our tents. The tents are still wet from the night before, so we attempt to dry them out. We also attempt some bush laundry. It's so nice to be able to sit, watching the flames and at the same time dry our washed clothes. After successfully completing one of the harder days on the trail, the spirits are high and, in a wave of cautious optimism, we decide to combine the next two sections into a single day. As the sun disappears over the horizon and the temperature drops, we get a feeling that it's going to be a cold night.
Hey Shan, what sort of start is this?
It's not alpine.
No?
No.
After a cold night, we wake up to a bitterly cold morning. Getting dressed and packing with freezing cold fingers and toes is not fun, so we get the chores done quickly and we are walking by 7 a.m. The day begins with a moderate uphill, which soon flattens out before descending down towards the Mekalong Creek. The scenery opens up as we traverse the mountain with a stream flowing to our left. Our progress is hampered by many blowdowns, some quite tricky to get over.
Hi. So we've had a really big recent blowdown that's taken out a bridge. And now we have to try and figure out a way to get across the water.
The second climb of the day is longer and steeper. Once on top, we hit a dirt road that undulates up and down with a long, steepish climb into Mekalong campground, where we have our midday break before continuing on to the next campground. Combining these two stages will get us into Tumut on Saturday instead of Sunday, giving us a much needed rest day in town. We continue to trend upwards for the rest of the day, gently at first and then quite steeply, all the while following the beautiful Mekalong Creek. We finally hit a dirt road and for the last few kilometers continue to climb before reaching the camp. The campsite is quite nice, with plenty of flat grassy spots, a drop toilet and an undercover table. A nearby creek provides a fresh water supply. We set up and get ready for what's going to be the coldest night on the trail so far. It certainly was a cold night. We had a little frost on our tent, but Shan and Dave were more exposed under their tub and their water bottles had ice sloshing in them. So the temperature definitely dropped below zero overnight. We packed quickly to stay warm and are walking by 7 a.m. Trending up at a moderate grade. We follow it until we hit the wetlands of Mekalong Swamp. Once again, the path is obstructed by fallen trees that we have to go through, under or over. This takes a lot of effort and energy and time, and over the whole day we tire of it, especially as the fatigue sets in.
I stepped on the small log and then swung over again.
The afternoon starts with a steep, long downhill. We'll be dropping over 1100 meters in altitude before one final climb before the camp.
Just rocks, and they just went whoop and collapsed underneath me. And I fell on my butt. Ooh!
It's a long day and our energy is really low by the time we get to camp. As soon as we set up, the skies open up and the rain comes down. Our tent is still wet from this morning. Shan and Dave are having problems with their tarp. To be fair, their tarp is over 6 years old and has done the entire Pacific Crest Trail with them, so we can't really blame it for wear and tear. The night was miserably wet and windy, but luckily not that cold. The weather clears up in the morning, but we decide to skip the road walk to Tumut and call a taxi instead. After such a hard day and a miserable night, our morale is quite low, and we are seriously looking forward to a rest day at Tumut.